forecast. Here's KATC Chief Meteorologist Rob Perillo.
Welcome back. Well, Acadiana's weather looking better and better. Meanwhile, it looks worse and worse for our friends off to the east, especially into Mississippi, Alabama, maybe even the Florida Panhandle. So let's get into it. It's all about Hurricane Sally. Here's the big radar picture over the last 12 hours. Is Sally getting better organized? You start to see banding features and then trying to close off an eye, but never quite did it, but may do that over the next several hours. We'll be watching that. Meanwhile, tropical rain bands already working their way onto the Florida Panhandle, portions of Alabama and the Mississippi coastline. Even some showers working their way into Louisiana. Just a few sporadic renegade showers, and we're seeing a few of those impacting portions of Acadiana, moving through Iberia and St. Mary Parish. Nice little shower activity here. Jeanerette, Sharonton, Franklin. This is going to allow for a little windy, gusty winds, but then should be over with as quickly as it starts. And that's going to be it for the next couple of days for Acadiana. Rain chances 20% or less tomorrow, maybe even less than that as we get beyond Wednesday. Of course, it is the peak of hurricane season. In addition to Sally, we have Paulette that just cleared Bermuda, that dot right there. Renee remnants, we're going to get rid of that circle for tonight at 10. Tropical Storm Vicky, new storm here, not going to last long. Tropical Storm Teddy, going to be a major hurricane, but we think it stays out to sea. And we have future Wilfred that will round out the alphabet for the named storms this year. So it'll be Greek letters coming up in a week's time or maybe less. Meanwhile, Gulf of Mexico, we have Sally. Going to watch showers and storms western Gulf of Mexico, Bay of Campeche over the next week. And this could be a busy area, just like Sally. Sally was a bit of a surprise where it wasn't really advertised. And then all of a sudden, it's like we got to start paying attention to the system when it was over by the Bahamas. So Sally going through a rapid intensification cycle from a tropical storm to a Category 2 storm with 100-mile-an-hour winds. Moving to the west-northwest, we think it's still going to work its way through a weakness in the ridge, but that ridge of high pressure is going to slow it down. So a very slow move here. 110-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow afternoon, 105 just about at landfall, so right in between. It could go to Category 3, and it'll be all dependent on whether we see an intensification cycle begin to develop as we head into the overnight hours, but almost another solid 24 hours out over open water, and some models not bringing it inland like the European for about 2.5 days. So hurricane warnings, southeast Louisiana, all the warnings here in Acadiana have been dropped. We thought that was the case as of last night, 10 o'clock, but nonetheless, we're happy about that. Storm surge is going to be the big story, 7 to 11 feet with higher waves and envelopes, eastern Louisiana into Mississippi, and a very substantial surge as you go farther to the east as well. So we're going to remember this one by the surge, the wind, and the rain. Everything you get with a hurricane, some very heavy rainfall. Look at the offshore ROBs, though. An offshore buoy reporting 20-foot seas around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Viascanol 786 platform rig, production rig way out in the Gulf of Mexico. That showed a wind gust to 117 roughly around 3 o'clock. Here are the latest conditions, but nonetheless, all that water is going to be piling up as the storm slowly inches toward eastern Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama. And this is the NAM model that seems to be pretty much on with the National Hurricane Center forecast. Forecast may get nudged a little bit farther to the east, but notice the worst of the weather staying just east of the NOLA area, impacting eastern Louisiana into Mississippi and Alabama. And notice this time tomorrow evening, still not inland, then finally working its way inland tomorrow night into early Wednesday, and it may even be longer than that. And for us, we're on the nice north part of the storm, so nice north wind, a mixture of clouds and sun, and little rain chances. So here's the radius of the tropical storm force winds, mid-range tropical storm force, and in the red, that's your hurricane force winds. That's mainly earmarked for Mississippi and Alabama going into tomorrow night. So that's what we'll be on the lookout for. And rainfall, nothing here and everything over here, pushing 15, 20, 25 inches. These hot spots are in the 20 to 30 inch range. We hope that doesn't work its way inland. So for us, good looking forecast, still on the hot side during the day. Overnight lows beginning to come down toward the end of the week. Eventually some drier air moving in. It's not going to be cool, but it's going to feel a lot better going into the weekend, and fall incidentally gets here a week from tomorrow. Can't come soon enough, but the tropical season will last at least another 6 weeks. Marcel?